woman's heart and her womb are connected.
Uh-oh.
Go
Mhm. So
ahead and pull this clip up for you guys, and here we go.
When a woman shuts herself off to a man sexually, it's because she feels shut off from him in other areas. So when you don't respect her feelings, when you don't appreciate her thoughts, when you don't value the way she thinks and the things that she has to say, then she's closed. Watch this. If she doesn't feel close to you, she's going to be closed to you. When she doesn't feel close to you, she's going to be closed to you. Because it's hard to open your legs when your heart is closed. Because a woman's heart and her womb are connected. Woo. Yeah. So you keep trying to fix it in the bed when let me give you something. Let me break it down for you fellas. There's a hormone called oxytocin. Oxytocin is a very important hormone. It's the love hormone. And it's released in a man's brain and body when a man has an orgasm. Oxytocin. Here's what's deep, fellas. In order for a woman to get that powerful hormone, oxytocin, moving through her brain and body, she doesn't need to have an orgasm. Here's how she can get it. She can get the same chemical moving through her body through a deep, focused, attentive, fun conversation with you. If you look into her eyes and say, what you have to say to me is important, and you have her attention, that'll turn her on. And if you learn how to open her up emotionally, she'll open up the windows of heaven and pour you out of, hey! Hey! I'm a witness.
First and foremost, never trust a motherfucker with
man,
green ones on. But no,
you got
before
on
we get
green
started,
jeans
fellas,
and
before we
Michael
get
Jordan
started,
jeans.
let's preface this by eliminating those that weaponize sex. Let's just take them off the table for this conversation. Because I know there's a lot of them that do that, and we can argue that to this preacher. Let's just take that off the table. Let's just address what he said if we're talking about good, sensible women. And I'm gonna let y'all have it.
I like that. Go ahead, Clout Jones.
I think the sentiment of what he was trying to say is essentially, treat a woman right, and the sex will be better. Like appreciate her, show her care and affection. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I think that's obvious to anybody with a little bit of common sense, right? But I think that he kind of was like romanticizing a little bit. Like he was kind of like, because there's a lot of females in the audience probably, so he was trying to like sell it like he was giving some advice, and that's why I feel like he fell short. Like it's like, bro, like he was trying to make it seem as though like oxytocin, like that feeling that a woman gets from a conversation, is the same as sex somehow. And like there's plenty of dudes that have a lot of conversation with a woman and her legs don't open. Like also that oxytocin can come from conversation with one of her female friends. Women get that oxytocin from conversation in general. So to somehow try to connect that and be like, oh, because her heart is open, she gonna sleep with you. I mean, if that was true, the friend zone wouldn't exist. That they heart be open for their friends. They be loving the shit out that dude. They not gonna let hit. You know what I mean? Some of them would would literally give a lung to the dude that they are not gonna let hit. So and some of them will let the dude hit that don't treat them with all that oxytocin talk he was talking. You know what I mean? All that deep focus, whatever. I think when it comes to like sexuality, I think we try to like conflate it and make it like connected to all these different things. But sexuality is its own beast. It's like sexuality and attraction, it's its own thing. And if she's not into you sexually, she's just not into you sexually. It don't got nothing to do with how nice you are. It don't got nothing to do with how cool you are, how dressed, the way you dress. It got nothing to do with none of that. She just not. It's just not there. The chemistry is just not there, and it's not going to advance from there. If the chemistry's there, all of them things he's talking about go out the window. Like if she's desiring you, you can have no conversation at all. Like I've seen it, I've lived it. Meeting somebody in the club, no conversation, and digging it out in the bathroom, walk off, nothing said. I've seen it. So at the end of the day, it's like, no, you don't need to have all this deep oxytocin conversation in order to have a woman open up to you sexually. But is it a good idea with someone that you're in a committed long-term relationship with to I guess increase the intimacy in order to increase like conversation and verbal intimacy and emotional intimacy in order to increase sexual intimacy? Then I would agree with that. Sure, if you're in the confines of a relationship, Absolutely. You know, once you get past that primal lust that you have and you've been with this person for a while, a lot of times the only way to increase the sexual intimacy is by increasing emotional intimacy. Conversations, talking about what each other likes, you know, spending time with each other to just get those feelings going again. So I would say in that regard it's true, but overall I wouldn't say it's like a fact that you should live off of.
Also, and he was talking about that whole, yeah, you got to have that deep introspective. I just said that, like I said earlier, we ain't having conversations as deep as people trying to make it out to be. And I don't know if y'all ever seen that video of the guy that was turning his wife on, but it was just a TikTok. He was just turning his wife on because he was pretending like he knew it, like he was like fixing things around the house, but instead, so he'd go up in there and just simply unplug the TV, and then when his wife go up in there and try to use the remote and the TV didn't work, she'd call him in there, and then he went back there, hammered some shit on the wall, and was like, "Yeah, babe, I had to fix the." He came back and was like, "I had to fix the flow capacitor to get the TV to work." She's, "Oh my God, babe, you're a lifesaver!" Like, women love that type of shit. Like, this whole deep introspective, they know we don't talk. We don't talk. So that's not the things that get them going. Like, it's the things that we be doing with them and like how we act as men and stuff like that that gets them going. You know what I mean? When you go up in there and the toilet overflowing and she don't know what the hell going on, and you go up in there, you hammer some shit around and come back like, "Yeah, babe, I fixed it." You know what I mean? That's what get them, like, this whole introspective. You got to dig deep into her soul and unlock her mental. Like, bro, we're men. We're simple. Women are complicated, but they don't require us to unlike all this complication. They just want us to hear it from time to time. Hey, straight up, yeah, he went up there and hammered the toilet. That shit was funny as hell.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Okay, so I disagree with him catching the Holy Ghost and frolicking that way. That shit just look weird to me. It always has looked weird to me. But I 100% agree with him on the conversation, right? Because I've experienced being so what it boils down to, and it's not the only thing that you can do. Like, I think an act of service is what Sweeney was talking about, right? Where you come and you be useful and you do something they probably couldn't do, and they feel appreciative of you, right? You can gain it that way. It's the same with protection. Like, if you stick up for, you got to whoop somebody behind it, that you gonna get a different level of sex. I think that same intimacy can occur without an external thing if you can figure out how to connect with her and y'all really like talking and bonding. Because I used this example before. I said like one night stands is kind of like microwaving some food. It's gonna get it hot and it's gonna feed you, but it ain't gonna be the same as when somebody slow cooking on the oven. When you slow cook it on the oven, that's emotional intimacy. That's you actually bonding with her and really getting to know her, and then y'all exploring things sexually, and it's not just getting to the nut. Like, yeah, let me just do 30 seconds, 40 seconds. You know what I'm saying? On the microwave. You really got to take time and prep it. Cut the vegetables, cut the food. You know what I'm saying? And that is a different level of sex. It take a lot of times because you can't do that stuff all the time. You can do it and maintain it, but once you do it, you see the difference. Well, you feel the difference too, but it's a little different because and as a man, you engage a little bit differently. And I didn't think, like, in my early, like when I was younger, this is another thing. When I got older, I started to actually understand the value of actually trying to connect with the women. I didn't understand it because it was just straight driven. Once I get the sex, you know what I'm saying? Once I nut, I'm good. But it's another level to that. But you gonna have to like engage and really like do like non-sexual emotional foreplay, and then to the sexual foreplay, to the sex, and then you can get that. But it's another level. It really is.